Uncle Roger approved? I think so. I'm actually about to do a blind taste test. We did steak hibachi, steak teppanyaki. The idea is, does MSG matter? We made 2 different batches, and I'm about to see if I can taste if one of them has it and one of them doesn't. I don't know. What happens when your garden starts growing squash and zucchini? That's right. You start making hibachis like crazy. I was at the store the other day, and I found these chuck-eye steaks. If you guys are not familiar with them, they are basically called the poor man's ribeyes, and I cannot tell you how great these look. I mean, they look absolutely probably the best chuck-eye steaks I've ever seen inside of a grocery store, and I could not pick them up fast enough. I didn't know what I was going to do with them at the time, but it just made sense. Like I mentioned, we made a video recently. Tomatoes are growing in my dad's garden, and we made a video based on that. Squash and zucchinis are growing like crazy. Perfect day for hibachi. We have made a ton of Asian dishes on the griddle. We made a ton of fried rices. We made a ton of hibachis, teppanyakis, whatever you want to call it. Still today, we're getting comments. I cannot believe you didn't add an MSG. It's not hibachi if you don't have MSG. I can't believe you didn't call. I'm going to call Uncle Roger. You know, all those comments. And it still surprised me that as of today, that's what we're still talking about. Not the whole dish itself. It's just the fact you missed one ingredient. So today is all about, does MSG matter? Now, before you click off, let me explain some things. MSG to me is like cast iron. Many years ago, there's some information about it. And many years past that, it seems like we've got past the bad information. I'm not saying that I'm a doctor. I'm just saying the fact of the matter, right? There are some people that have side effects of MSG, but for the majority of the population, it seems like we're pretty good. There's a lot of MSG out there. So if you guys are pro MSG, then you can use it. If not, don't use it. I've never used it in one of my recipes except today because you guys keep asking. However, I'm not scared.
That's my darn. You changed my text message thing.
She says she can never hear it. So I said,
so
I'm going to get the most obnoxious. Yeah, we're not cutting that out. The point is, our oldest daughter's on her very first date ever, like an actual official date. So we had to answer
like
that.
Driving with a boy?
Yeah.
She's been on dates, but
true.
Never
First time in the car?
Yeah.
You guys know what I'm talking about. All right. I've never been shy of the MSG. Matter of fact, one of my seasonings has it in there because I felt like it offered a better flavor profile. What seems to be like hidden under the radar is I love my oyster sauce. I think my fried rice is fantastic with it. It has MSG in it. So when you guys preach, oh, he's not using MSG, it's not real fried rice. He's white, he can't make fried rice, he can't make hibachi. And I use this, it could just kind of like burns me a little bit. I'm like, if you guys knew what was in the ingredients that I used, then maybe you'd look at it a little bit different. But we're going to scoot over to things. No cut vegetables today. I got my mushrooms, got my onions, got my zucchini, squash, got some eggs. I'm telling you, these things look fantastic. Day old rice, got some fresh carrot. I want to omit the peas today just because I didn't really feel like going to the grocery store to get them. And really the kicker is this. I'm going to make everything exactly the same, and I'm going to split it right in half. And then one's going to get it, and one's not. And maybe we can do a blind taste test to see if we can see it. Deal?
Yep.
Let's go. Using that Traeger today, we got a low. I got up to medium high. I really want a fantastic sear on those steaks. Caution to the wind when you're doing this, and you really want to do it, you know, I wouldn't say professionally, but you really want to get a good result. Try to get a thicker steak because you can get a fantastic sear on the outside without overcooking it because we're going to have to let it rest, cut it, and add it back in. Just using just a touch of avocado oil as it goes down the griddle. It's heating up. I don't think we're hot enough. Since we're using fresh carrot, I'm going to head start. Typically, I'd add the rice first if you're using frozen peas and carrots, but the fresh are going to take a little bit longer to cook. Crank it up to about a medium. I have a little bit of bleed over. Now what I like to do is just put the rice on the griddle the way it is. Don't worry about chopping it up. As the rice warms up, it'll be a lot easier to break apart.
So for clarification, we cooked that last night.
See that right there? You cannot get better than that at all. I mean, that right there is flavor. If you overcrowd your skillet like anything else, it starts like boiling. But that Maillard action right there separates the men from the boys, I can tell you that. See how much easier it is to fluff together now that it warms up? No butter, no oil, because as those chuck eyes cook, that beef fat's rendering out, and we're going to use that to our advantage. Now remember, you want this to be like well below, right? You don't want this to be at the temperature you need it. You need to severely undercook it. Let those rest. Look what we got here. Natural tallow. Turn that griddle down, it don't need to be that hot. Now we're able to saute those vegetables and all that flavor. Just a touch of salt. It might not look like it today because of the wind, but I am going to hold back on the salt on every single time I salt something because we are going to be adding that MSG. Fresh cracked pepper. A lot of people get nervous about fresh ginger because of the skin, but honestly, any form of abrasion will work. You can use the back of a spoon, you can use a paring knife, whatever it is, but it's definitely worth it. You don't have to get the whole hand sometimes, just break off a finger. And you just want to expose that yellow flesh, get that tree bark, I call it tree bark, the bark off of it, the ginger bark. That'll work. Alrighty, now I'm going to move this out of the griddle off. Now you're working your zones. Just a light touch of soy sauce. See how easy that right's breaking apart now? If you guys have followed along, I absolutely love this method. Butter, garlic, I'm gonna save some for that steak. And you're looking to just to cook that garlic as that butter melts to get super fragrant. Make that garlic super tender, and that's what we're gonna toss the rice in. You wanna keep going right until that butter or that garlic starts to turn. The whites of the green onions that we separated, that smells good. If you guys are on this kick, I can't help you. This stuff is absolutely fantastic. Tons of flavor. We swear by it. Get that in the middle of the griddle. Let that start warming up. Soy sauce. We're doing the wok method where you kind of just throw it around the griddle. My griddle runs down, so it'll be fun.
Smells amazing.
I'm gonna start those mushrooms because we're getting ready for that steak. Same thing, fresh cracked pepper and salt. Some diced onion. Ooh, I don't want that ginger to go in there. Rookie move. If you notice your griddle's getting too hot for your scrambled eggs, this is a perfect, now mine won't do it, I'm just giving you an example. A perfect way to calm down your griddle. Anytime you add something to the surface, you want to pull the surface down. So just remember that. Just a little butter. And I like the half and half method. I like some of my eggs scrambled on the griddle, and I like some of my eggs in the rice. It definitely makes a difference. just to recap, we got our vegetables, a little soy sauce, salt and pepper. We fried it in that beef tallow. I think it makes a difference. The rendered beef from the steaks that we're using. Our fantastic fried rice. Really what you add to it is going to be up to you, but you know, the oyster sauce we love. The garlic, absolutely phenomenal. Doing that butter with the garlic on the inside. I think it just helps lubricate and just creates fantastic flavor. And then really and truly, you can do broccoli. You can do any vegetable you really wanted to in this. This is just gonna be for the steak. We've let our steaks rest long enough, so we'll look into that right now. We preach match the hatch, which you're looking for bite-sized pieces. You don't want these too big. You definitely don't want them too small. And I like more of a savory. I'm not necessarily a big sweet steak fan when it comes to hibachi. I'd much rather mine be savory. And I know what you're thinking. Oh my gosh, that's raw. Yeah, that's a good thing. You can just smell that sear, that beef cooking. Even if you like your steak cooked way more than this, I would still advise you to cook your steak to this temperature here and then just keep it on the griddle longer. And the reason is because you really haven't introduced a ton of pressure, a ton of heat inside the steak. And so you're less likely, if you notice here, there's not a lot of like blood or juice running on the board because it really hasn't had a chance to come up to temperature and push that stuff out. So you're retaining a lot more moisture. Once it goes back to the griddle, you can cook a little bit longer. Those green tops to the rice. I'll add butter down. I'll add that garlic. And then that fresh ginger. See, our griddle's not necessarily super high heat right now. We're just on a low and this is off. Managing those temps, because if you put it on here now and you add some like, a lot of people add like teriyaki, something sweet. That's how you get all that crap on the griddle and it like really burns and it gives an off taste. Some soy sauce. A little W sauce.
If you all could just smell this, it smells amazing.
You guys can see by now I got a new shirt on. Shout out to one of my youngest kid's friends. It was actually her idea.
Yeah, she came up with the slogan.
Literally in the car, and we're just joking around, and had one of my other shirts on, that Smash Burger shirt, and she came up with it, so kudos to her. I appreciate it.
And I know that her dad watches our channel, so we should send him. We need to get his shirt size and send him a shirt.
Deal.
Since his daughter gave us the
Created by
idea.
my daughter's friend, and then designed by you, and then worn by me. Now that's what you call small business right there. This side of the griddle's off, this side of the griddle's off, this side of the griddle right in the middle is on.
I'm looking forward to this. What's for dessert? That's what
You're looking at it. Everything is cut in half. The steak is finishing up. We shouldn't have a problem with it. I don't know how much to add. If you look at the bottle, it says half a teaspoon of accent per pound of meat. I do know that there's other types of MSG out there. I understand that this is common in our grocery stores. So half a teaspoon per pound. So you figure that's probably 2 pounds, 3 pounds. So you're probably looking at about almost 2 teaspoons for one section. So we're gonna eyeball it here. You ready? I don't trust myself. I'm gonna eyeball it first. Ooh, I love those little crispies. If I used the same spatula, somebody would say, "Oh no."
I was gonna say that. I was gonna say, are we gonna clean our spatula?
And then right at the very end, just a touch of sesame oil for each, kind of like a kicker. Take our original spatula. Dangerously working around that hole right there. Making sure it doesn't take any of my food. Whoo! One thing to note, once the camera stopped, I started doing dishes. Then I realized one is going to have the MSG and one is not going to have as much salt in there as I normally would add. I mentioned that in the video. So what we did, and I did it faster than what she could film, the amount of MSG that I put in my hand, I just put this salt right here in my hand, which is just table salt, Diamond Crystal Kosher salt, and I added it to that top row, or I guess it would be your bottom row. So I try to make it even. So now the salty level should be there. So hopefully we don't have one obvious one and one not. So.
And you do not know which one is which.
That's the name of the game,
I plated
kid.
them up.
That dang garlic rice.
That is the secret.
That ginger steak is the secret.
I really think this is better than you get at a Japanese steakhouse.
Let me tell you, kid, that plate right there, it would hurt somebody's feelings. 100%. So obviously you know which one's which.
I know which one's which.
I'm telling you right now, it does not make a difference. When I sit down at a restaurant like this, or I'm on my back porch and I have a cold one, I think there's so many flavor profiles that we're about to add. Oh, by the gallon.
Yeah.
Shrimp sauce, yum yum sauce, you guys call it whatever you want to. If you're not familiar with it, look it up. Yes, you can make it from scratch, but we just buy it. And then my sriracha. My gut feeling is this is MSG.
You are correct.
You can taste it.
You can
Like,
taste the difference?
I don't think it enhances. I think it just changes the flavor.
Okay, let me taste.
Oh, that's true. You haven't tasted it yet.
Uh-oh.
Don't say anything. Just eat both of them. And then, no. Eat a piece of steak. I think the steak, honey, you're going for vegetables.
Steak. I think your hatch is a little bigger than my hatch because these are a little big for me.
Well, I'm a bigger fish. You know what the cool thing about doing hibachi like this is I'm already looking at the griddle, as dirty as it is, and I know it's going to be easy clean because there's no sugars involved like a teriyaki. Mm-hmm. All that tallow, all the oils and all that stuff, that's going to be easy. I can deal with that.
I mean, they're both phenomenal. Fantastic. Delicious. Amazing. Better than you would get at a Japanese steakhouse, I feel like. No, they're both really, really great. I don't think the MSG matters.
I don't either.
I think, like you said, you just knocked it out of the park with both of them. The MSG doesn't matter.
No, it's just interesting when you get harped at, you know, it's almost like this mentality of like, oh, like, it's just crazy how the mentality creeps up in people, right? Just like soap and cast iron, you know, like, oh, you cannot add soap to cast iron when literally cast iron manufacturers are washing their cast iron with soap. You would think if a manufacturer would wash their cast iron with soap, if it did damage to their credibility or their brand, they wouldn't be in business. So that's why I feel like an MSG, like the ingredients that we use, some of them have it in there, and I don't shy away from that, but I don't think this changed it one way or the other. To be honest with you, it's so subtle, I wonder if I even added enough, but I was like, you know, obviously you don't want to overdo it. But it does give it almost like not a tang, but like a zip, like it's just something, I guess, different than this one, and that's how I can notice it. Does that make sense? Mm-hmm. Like, I didn't know what it was, but you could just tell there was a difference. That's why we do these videos, guys. So we appreciate it. Love the blind taste test. We've been doing them a little bit more lately, especially on pellets and pits with barbecue, because there's a lot of myths out there. Does binders matter? Your charcoal, spritzing, you name it. And they're just fun to do, but this was a good one. I'm super hungry and looking forward to it. There's a join button down below. It's a membership program. We thank each and every one of you for taking time for doing so. You can find this shirt on theflattopking.com along with our seasonings and all of our other stuff. The fried rice recipe, the steak hibachi, and all that stuff is also available on our website as well if you guys wanted the exact recipes. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to press that subscribe button, pound the notification button, share with your friends. Peace. Now look, let's show them how to.
I know one thing. We are gonna.
Is this mine? You ain't eat the one with the MSG?
Tonight. I don't care.
Sriracha?
They're both fantastic.
We should just put like one of those like
little
funnels spout on the bottom. In a good shape. It feels like my cheeks are shaking.
Yep, I got that on camera.
So it wasn't just me. That's my first layer. Now that's how we eat it right there. That's how I'm eating it.
But it's so good you don't need that. But we
You'll
do.
never see the.
We do.
You'll never taste the MSG.
We do
after
like
that.
the yum yum sauce.